Greetings from sunny South Texas. How's everybody doing today? All right, man. Here we go, guys. I wanted to share this prize pack I picked up from none other than Nighttiger Comics, Mike Smith to be exact, over on YouTube, Nighttiger. And it was during the Super Bowl, and rather than watching that, I said, well, let me check out what old Mike's got on, because he had a live show during Super Bowl. He had a couple of guests on, and they were showing some really cool Western comics, and I dig Western comics, so I tuned into that. And there, towards at the end of the stream, he says, "Well, let me pick a random winner and send him something." So that was me. So I got super lucky that day. But not only did I get some of these cool comics, I was getting a lot of comic knowledge, and that is what I'm looking for these days. All right. So let's get started into seeing what old Mike sent me, other than what I was sort of knowing I was going to get, and then two things that just blew my mind. So here we go. In addition to the comic, Mike sent over an original art piece here, Nighttiger. So if you watch his videos, you're going to see this character. And man, I do appreciate that, because I'm starting to see, well, not starting to say start, like it's barely happening, but I'm appreciating a lot of the people that I watch and their creativity. You know, just recently we had Four Color Fossils, and Micah was showing these really cool book covers that he's creating to go over some of these older books, and that was like, good Lord, I love that. So shout out to Micah for that. My buddy PSG, Psychotronic Squirt Gun. Big shout out to Psychotronic, because he's making music, man. And the music that he's making is telling stories. And just go on and on about all these people that not only collect, but they also create. So thank you, Mike, for sharing some of your creation with me. All right, so here we go. This was the prize of the show, man. Jonah Hex, #1. I do collect Jonah Hex. I am putting together this series. And how fortunate Mike sent me this, man. This was the prize. And when he announced it, I was like, what? That's pretty dang cool, man. So thank you, Mike. So I just want to kind of open it up, share what Mike sent over. I don't have this. I definitely don't have this. I ain't finding this in the dollar bin, that's for sure. So let's take a look at it. Let's get out of this Mylar, by the way. That's probably the first Mylar I've ever owned, and Mike sent me a couple. All right, so let's take a look. What are we looking at here? Looking at Jonah Hex #1, right? And again, I'm going to say this probably a couple of times, but Mike has not only sent me cool prizes, but he's sent me he's paying my college knowledge tuition, man. I've decided to say, you know what, I'm going to take these extras that he sent, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that to dig deeper and learn more about what it is I'm looking at here. So let's go ahead and look at this one. Jonah Hex #1, right? 1977. 1970. I was probably cracking open books in 1977, but I probably wasn't comprehending what I was looking at, if you know what I'm saying. My uncles were reading this stuff. My uncles were really into the war comics, the horror comics, the westerns, things like that. Weren't a lot of superheroes, but this is this is my introduction to comics. So if I open this up, take a look over here, we're going to see Michael Fleischer is a writer, and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez is the artist. All right. So again, I know that name from other titles, and I know there's going to be some good artwork in here. Right? And Aquaman, dude, I thought every comic had this ad in it for a while. Had these particular hostess ads. I guess I'm 50 years old, so these are emblazed in my mind, these ads. But let's dig a little closer into what we're working with here. Jonah Hex. I know there's maybe a couple of origin stories as to how Jonah Hex became Jonah Hex. So again, Mike sent me on the right path. He's going to make me appreciate this character more by sharing this with me. Beautiful house ads over here. Right? Of course, during that time, Star Wars was hitting. All the new sci-fi is going on with that. But yeah, I mean, this is a clean book. And as y'all know, I'm not more into like, it's got to be pristine, but I do appreciate a nice copy every once in a while. Who doesn't, right? So Mike, thank you, brother. This was beautiful in of itself. This was very generous of you. You didn't have to, but you did. And let's go on to now next. What else did he send? Like I said, I was looking forward to getting this one issue. He sends artwork along with it, but 2 other things. So let's take a look at those. All right, so the next one, Mike was gracious enough to send. Wells Fargo, Tales of Wells Fargo, Dell Comics, 15 cents. I do own, not a bunch of these, but I own some of these older books, 10 cent or 15 cent. And what I've come to learn, what I've come to understand is this is beautiful stuff, man. This is beautiful. And there for a while because, you know, like I said, I got out of collecting probably in the late 80s. Come back in around 2008. And even during when I was a kid, these books were just kind of, I don't know, but now as an older collector, when I open this up, I see beauty that I didn't recognize when I was a child. So I know that I'm going to have to go over to Grand Comics database. I know I'm going to have to look and see who did this because, I mean, there's some beautiful artwork in here. And because of Mike's generosity, he probably may have started me on another rabbit hole, if you will, to go further and to say, okay, this is cool. If this issue looks like this, I could only imagine what the other issues look like. And there was one scene in here in particular that just sealed the deal for me, that drew me in, because I know that a lot of these books had some of the artists there in some of the bigger books. I think I've said that wrong, but this one right here, feast your eyes. Look at this, that image right there. That drew me in, Mike. Thank you, Mike, because again, you have given me a free ride, a free tuition, and you said, here, brother, take this and dig deeper, get into some of these older books, appreciate what this is. And that right there drew me in. That tells me I've got to find more of this and all these other books. So thank you, Mike. I'm not going to dare say who this artist might be because I really don't know. That's why I say Mike has opened those doors to me, and he's given me another avenue to which to enjoy this hobby we call collecting. So again, man, cover to cover art. Look at that. I mean, just the faces. And so, Masked Man right down there. So I don't want to mess this thing up, so I'm just going to kind of do a few more pages. Let everybody see the Wells Fargo. Mike, thank you. This was way beyond what I was expecting, and I appreciate it. But there's more. As they say on TV, wait, there's more. All right, so now, you're talking about knowledge. You're talking about using something like this and dig deeper. Let's take a look at what else he sent. From my understanding, you know, a lot of people are getting into pulp magazines. Look what I've got. Look what Mike sent me. Wrangle Romances, 15 cent pulp, 1946. How do I know that? Because take a little peek in here. And again, I want to turn these pretty careful because I don't want to ruin them. From 1946. Start off the bat, you get a Gillette ad, comic book form, or in comic form. And what's gonna drive me for this more is just all the advertisements as well. All right. So here we go. March 1946, volume 34, issue number 2. But look at, I mean, come on. You're going to want to know who did this. And again, so when I go and look at some of these older books, it tells you right off the bat, hey, some of this information we don't know. You know, it was produced in such mass production. It was getting out there to the people that, I mean, think about it. No TV, nothing going on. People were buying these up and they were reading them and tossing them as soon as they were done. They were being shared with the people in the neighborhood, whatnot. Great stuff here. Great stuff. Give him Fletcher's Castoria, all right? You got to take care of that sick baby. So you're going to get a lot of tech stories in here, right? I'm not going to read all these in one sitting, but I will read them. Look at this. Just more beautiful work. I know listening to certain podcasts, a lot of these artists back then, they did, they did art for a lot of things. They did art for advertisements, comic books, magazines. And then as a movie started coming in, they were doing a poster. So just this one book can open up a whole multiple areas of study for me. And that's what I appreciate what Mike done for me. Right? Pepsi, tops for quality. That is cool. That is cool. Let's see what we got here. Lover's Train to Empire. Maureen O'Hare. That name sounds familiar. I don't know why. I can't place it right now, but that's a familiar sounding name. But the artwork, beautiful. Let's see what else we got going on here. Like I said, a lot of tech stories. And of course, these are romance stories, so I'm probably going to get a kick out of reading a lot of these. I'm probably going to have a lot of chuckles, but again, it's opening me to the visuals of it. What's going on with this? Is some of this stuff even made still? Right? Made to measure. Bill Servant, right? I mean, come on now. Because you know these guys were pushing a pencil to this, but they were also probably drawing some superhero characters. They were probably drawing in the horror field, right? It says, make your own ranch clothes. All right, there you go. I'm pretty sure some girls went gaga back in the day making some of this stuff, right? All right. I mean, just look at these old ads. Thank you, Mike. No strings to her bow. A bow is in bow and arrow. A bow is in boyfriend. By Thelma Knowles. All right, Miss Thelma Knowles. Thank you. Putting that story together. So yeah, they do credit the authors, but they don't really credit the artists. And that's pretty shameful, I guess, right? But anyway, Nighttiger, Mike, thank you, brother. Thank you for this more than generous offering. You know, I wasn't expecting a giveaway. I just said to myself, do I really want to watch this Super Bowl? Maybe I'll tune in later as it gets down to the fourth quarter. Kind of upset my Cowboys didn't get in, but that's a long story. But anyway, you were generous, sir. You were super generous with your time, with your gifts, with your winnings. And I just want to say thank you, Mike. Thank you for this. You have pushed my series completion a lot closer with this one. You have opened my eyes with the others, and you have definitely shown me that be bold and share your creations, because like I said, the ones that I mentioned earlier, and also when Higgy Pop shows some drawings, when Shannon shows his drawings, Dr. Silver Age, I mean everybody that's not only collecting but they're creating. And again, the one that sticks with me right now the most is Micah with his covers, because that's digital collage and I like to make paper collage. So I got really excited when I saw that. So shout out to everybody out there. Hope this time change is treating you well. I know I got up a little bit late today. I was like, what the heck? It's already what? But anyway, we're going to adjust to all that. So everybody, thank you so much. I do appreciate y'all stopping by. Thank you for spending some of your time with me and watching me go through some of this beautiful, beautiful stuff sent over by Nighttiger Comics. All right. Y'all take care now.